Hey, what up, all you maniacs? It's your boy, Joshua Maniac Mansfield, TJ Talley. We are coming at you with our NXT Takeover in your house predictions. Hi, Tyler, how you doing, man?
I am good. A little tired from working with my wife, but I'm not going to get into details because that is my personal business. Ain't nothing gross or anything for you weirdos out there. um, but yeah, he's just doing stuff in my backyard. So a little tired, but we're going to power through this. How are you doing?
Doing okay. Doing best I can with everything going on. But so this is, and we have Takeover coming up. They've been starting to do takeovers apart from the Big Four like they used to all the time. And this takeover is a special one because this is in your house. And there hasn't been an in your house event since 1999 with St. Valentine's Day Massacre, which was the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania 15. Um, and it's going to be interesting because the in your house name, there's a lot of different events, like big events that are tied to that name, that pay-per-view. So, Tyler, want to give us a little bit of history first before we delve into our predictions?
Yes, so it started in 1995, and as you said, it ended with the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, or what I think that's what you said, in 1999. It was pretty much a way to step away from the big 5-era pay-per-view every month for the WWF at the time, to kind of compete with WCW since they were running like monthly pay-per-views. It was their way of trying to catch up with WCW. The big five for that time, though, was WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and the King of the Ring. So outside of that, they wanted to run events and pay-per-views to ensure that their buy rates and stuff are up. So yeah, they did it pretty much to compete with WCW as a way to the big five were 3 hours long at the time, and they wanted to run a 2-hour show in pay-per-view. Like I said, to get the numbers up. So that's kind of what they did until 1999 or not 99, 1997, to get rid of the in your house name and kind of just have singular pay-per-view names. It is coming back for NXT. Obviously, that's why we're doing this video for predictions. But it is coming back for the NXT in your house for the first time to celebrate the 25-year anniversary of its creation. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. So we're going to shoot to predictions right now. Let's take it away.
All right, so let's get on with this. The first match is the 6-woman tag team match featuring Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez versus Mia Kim, Shotzi Blackheart, I think that's how you say her name, and Tegan Knox. So who
do I take? I am going to take the team of Tegan Knox, Mia Yim, and who'd you say? I forget. Oh, Shotzi. And I'm going to take Shotzi. I'm going to take that team. As people know, I'm the news guy or whatever, and I pay attention to the news. So I do see the betting odds, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I know who's going to win. Right now, I know who is supposed to win, but that could change by tomorrow. But right now, I'm going to take that group of Shotzi, Tegan Knox, and Mia Yim.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty safe bet, I think, in my opinion. I haven't looked at the betting odds either, but after what happened on NXT, I would say that's probably the safest bet to go ahead with Mia Yim and Tegan Knox and Shotzi. But, I mean, this is a match that basically there's a match between Mia Yim and Candice LeRae on NXT this past week. I believe Candice LeRae won, and then it just turned into a brawl with all 6 of these women, so that's sort of why this match was put together. So I'm going to go with the faces to come away with the win this Sunday. So, our next match is going to be Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. So, I haven't gotten into this feud much or seen much of it. I'm going to go ahead and pick Finn Balor just because it's Finn Balor.
I'm going to go with Damian. I think Finn's obviously phenomenal and stuff like that, and his name's been built already. Damian Priest is kind of one of those people that build up his reputation, but he doesn't quite get over the hump of winning on a big match. So I think he beats Finn, and I think it's time for Damian Priest to beat Finn. Yeah.
Okay. All right then. So our next match is where it is. Tommaso Ciampa versus Karrion Kross. This feud's been really interesting looking at it. Ciampa, he's the veteran of this match. Kross is just recently debuted. Is this his first takeover?
Karrion Kross?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna give a win to Karrion Kross with this one. First takeover. First, really, really big win for him because he's being billed as a huge monster, and I really think he might end up just destroying Tommaso Ciampa in this match. Which I know will shock a lot of people, seeing Ciampa get destroyed, but with how this match is being built, that's how I see it going.
I like the pick. I'm gonna go with Karrion Kross as well. My thing is he just debuted. Ciampa's been there forever. I'm an absolute Ciampa freak. I have his Blackheart shirt. I got the Blackheart Converse. I ain't even lying. I got Ciampa shoes. But I don't see him winning Karrion Kross's debut for a takeover, or his first takeover. Plus, he's new, and from what I read, they didn't know what to do with him when he signed. They didn't know if they wanted him to forego NXT and go to the main roster, or if he was going to go down to NXT. And he's supposed to be fast tracked for a big push. So I don't think he destroys Ciampa. I think it's a pretty good match, but I think he's going to pick up.
Yeah, it's a pretty safe bet with this one. Now, let's get to next match. This is for the NXT North American Championship. Keith Lee defending against Johnny Gargano. And so I don't watch NXT all the time as much as Tyler does, but I was able to watch it this past. I recorded it and was able to watch it. And oh my goodness, I love Keith Lee. I see what all the hype is about. I love Keith Lee. So, and everything that happened on NXT with the mixed tag match happening and Gargano and I think it was Gargano and Candice LeRae. I think I messed up the build to the 6-woman tag match earlier. I don't know, but in that match, Gargano got the win over Keith Lee in the mixed tag match, so that sort of indicates that Keith Lee's going to retain. I always say how WWE is known for whoever loses on the go-home show wins the pay-per-view. I don't know if that's that way of thinking, or if just kind of try to move away from that. I know it's a typical WWE thinking, which I haven't thought all the time. But I don't see Gargano winning it back, winning the North American title back. I see Keith Lee staying champion for a good long time. Lee's had it since January, I believe. But I see Keith Lee retaining unless Candice LeRae tries to get involved. With how Keith Lee was in the ring, I don't see Gargano winning. I just don't. It's gonna be a great match, but yeah, Keith Lee for me.
I want to say that's a solid pick, but and I've seen Keith Lee live. I like Keith Lee. I have one of his shirts. I do like Keith Lee. He's a hell of an athlete. He's a big dude too. Like in person, he's a big dude. But and I don't mean that in any bad way. Like he's an athletic big. But I think, and I would like to pick him, but I think to solidify this dude as a heel, Gargano has to win the North American Championship back. I just think that right now he's, even though there's really no crowd for certain reasons, he's a hot heel, and I think to solidify this heel turn and this new whole persona of Johnny Gargano, I think he needs this win more than Keith Lee does. Not knocking Keith Lee, like I said, I love Keith Lee. But I think Gargano just needs to win just a little bit more than Keith Lee does in this situation.
Yeah, that is interesting, thinking about it that way. But the question is, do they want to keep Gargano down in NXT, or do they want to maybe bring him up? Because they were supposed to bring Ciampa up. He
already said he didn't want to go. Ciampa said if they try to take him up to the main roster, he'll retire because of his neck issues. He said straight out himself, he don't think he can handle that wear and tear on his body being gone 300 days a week. To where in NXT, you're literally like a 10-minute drive. You're working at the Performance Center. Right now, you're taping at the Performance Center. So you're literally like right there. You don't really have to go anywhere. You get to go home at night and sleep in your own bed.
Right.
So other than the wear and tear on his body from the matches, because he doesn't have to worry about the wear and tear from the travel and not sleeping, and all this other stuff. So just pretty much the wear and tear on him from the matches, which I know is still a pretty good deal. He said he just didn't want to do it. And I guess he also does a little bit of producing backstage for NXT. Gargano said he didn't really want to ever go up there. He said NXT is pretty much the main roster, and that's how he always felt. So moving Ciampa up there, he would probably retire and go backstage for WWE or go wrestle elsewhere once the independents open back up. Gargano will probably in NXT for a little while longer. Maybe they'll move him up. Maybe they won't. Who knows? Especially now with the Cruiserweight division being in NXT, who knows?
Yeah, see, as long as... So I feel like we need to stop saying that when people from NXT go to Raw or SmackDown that they're called up, if NXT is officially a third brand. NXT needs to be viewed as equal to Raw and SmackDown. And I feel like that's what Gargano and Ciampa are trying to do in this way, is to make sure, because the NXT title, since I believe 2017, is considered a world championship. Now, I don't know if the champions before that are also considered world champions now, but the NXT title is considered a world title. And I feel like Triple H he's even said NXT is a third brand now, basically. So he wants to keep it that way and make it equal to Raw and SmackDown. Which is interesting because you have people from Raw and SmackDown who have gone to NXT, like you saw in this past NXT, Breezango to NXT, and they became the number one contenders for the NXT tag team titles. So as long as NXT is used as a third brand, Ciampa and Gargano staying in NXT, I don't see that being any issue. So in that case, I would say probably right about Gargano, but I can't pick against Keith Lee. I just can't. So our next match, which is the match I am most looking forward to, is the triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship. Charlotte defending against Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. This match has arguably three of the greatest women's wrestlers in professional wrestling today. Yeah, of course, we have Bayley, Becky, Asuka, etc. But these three, I think, together are going to tear the house down. And the thing is, part of me wants to say, my pick, I'm going to say Charlotte retains by pinning Io Shirai. So that way Rhea goes to Raw without getting pinned. Because with Becky gone, they need someone else to make Raw strong. And I don't think Vince wants to risk Charlotte leaving NXT and ratings going down. So I think Vince is going to move Rhea to Raw. So Charlotte will retain, but pin Io Shirai to do it. That's my prediction. This match is going to be great, though.
It is going to be great. Here's my thing. I read Io Shirai was one of the names discussed to move up to either Raw or SmackDown. They said they don't know if they want to move her up, but she's been discussed for a move up. What I think is going to happen, I think Io Shirai is going to win still. And here's why. I feel like she has been chasing the title for, a few years now. It's just kind of time for them to put the strap on her. They did this Charlotte experiment to where they set her down to NXT to try to compete with AEW in the ratings. And let's be honest, it was good for 2 weeks. It really was. They beat her for 2 straight weeks. And then what happened after that? They got their behinds kicked every week by AEW. This week it was closer than what it was, but AEW was still higher in the ratings. To me, this whole ratings thing with Charlotte Flair, it's a complete bust. Send her back to Raw or SmackDown, wherever she was. And I think it's time for Io Shirai to take over and be champ. I really do. I just it's that time for her to go out on her own and be champ.
And then I would send, if that is the case, which that does make sense, I would send Charlotte to Raw.
Send
to
Charlotte,
make sure things
yes, Charlotte back to Raw, and then you have Rhea and Io pretty much beat the crap out of each other for 2 or 3 events, and feed over the Roman's top, because I think they could put on a phenomenal match just by themselves. But I think that's what they should do. I don't know if that's what they're going to do, but that's what they should do. By the way, how many matches do we have left?
1 more.
Oh, great, good. Well, you know
Food
why.
just showed up, didn't it?
No, it's on its way.
My man's hungry.
Yeah, let's not talk about food. Let's finish.
I know you're like a stomach. Yeah, but that does make a lot of sense now, saying it that way. But this is Charlotte Flair we're talking about. It's always hard to pick against the Queen. She has how much gold to her name in titles? I mean, so it's hard to pick against Charlotte. But there's one more match that needs to be discussed, which this match has got a lot riding on it. It is the last chance backlot brawl for the NXT Championship. Echo Bay defending against Velveteen Dream. And if Dream loses, he can no longer challenge for the NXT title as long as Adam Cole is still champion. So, who do you got?
I want to hear your pick first.
Ooh. See, there's interest. With recent rumors about either Cole getting moved up or leaving to go to AEW, there's a lot riding on this match. 1, I would not move Adam Cole up unless you are moving all of Undisputed Era up with him. You just do not split this group up right now. That is a no. That's bad, Vince. On the other hand, Velveteen Dream is extremely popular. But do I see him as winning the title? It depends on if Undisputed Era gets involved. And with it being a back-up brawl, no DQ, I don't see how Undisputed Era can stay out of it. So, crap. I'm still going to say because it is the last chance match. And really, here's what usually happens in last chance matches. Either the person whose last chance it is wins, or the champion loses it like the very next match, or the very next show. You've seen that when he won his last chance, or retirement against Miz a few years ago. You saw it with Batista. Lost to Night of Champions in his last chance match. CM Punk cashed in on Edge the next night on Raw. I'm gonna go Velveteen Dream.
I like that pick, and here's because I'm picking Dream too. But here's why: it is a double-edged sword for this match. Because, and here's why: because of everything that went on with Velveteen Dream about the pictures, in the reports, and him not, and him potentially getting hacked or whatever else. I think that's why they kind of held off and didn't have him win the belt in NXT a few weeks ago. But it's also a double-edged sword because Adam Cole didn't sign a new deal, as far as I know, and his deal's up in August. So if he doesn't resign, he's probably going to AEW. So if he doesn't resign, their safest bet is to drop the title off to Dream for a little while. Dream was also one of those names that was discussed for a call-up, believe it or not, even though he's still young. But he's been one of those people that have been rumored for a call-up or have been discussed. Adam Cole, if he resigns, he's probably going to Raw with the Undisputed Era. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, but I got to go with the Dream.
Yeah, these types of things where you really don't know what's going to happen and it really could go either way. Like, whoever wins looks good and looks bad. Both ways. It's really double-edged sword for this match. I wish they just would have given a clear indication on NXT, like, what their plan is. Like, do you think Adam Cole would resign if they moved Undisputed Era?
I think he
would make him resign.
But the thing is, his girlfriend wrestles for AEW. That's the thing.
Right.
So could I see him leaving and going with her over to AEW? Yeah, I could see that. Could I see him resigning and staying and being, with the Undisputed Era being one of the hottest factions in WWE? Yeah, I see it too. And I forgot to mention while we were talking, where we're still talking about this match, you said, well, what if the Undisputed Era gets involved? Well, I know it's going to still be 2-on-4, and yes, I said 2-on-4 because lately this dude named Dexter Lumis, or Samuel Shaw for the people who watch Impact Wrestling or TNA, Dexter Lumis is like this creepy, ominous character who doesn't talk whatsoever. He drew a picture Wednesday talking about taking out the other three members of the Undisputed Era. So it'll be interesting to see if Dexter Lumis helps Velveteen Dream win the belt. So
that'd be interesting.
So it's going to be interesting tomorrow for that match.
There's some things I've been thinking of what could happen. I'm going to say, here's my prediction. I said Velveteen Dream wins. I'm going to say Adam Cole re-signs with WWE. Undisputed Era goes to Raw. And we see Undisputed Era take out the champs. When the tag titles from Street Profits, U.S. title gets taken from Apollo Crews, which why he has that belt right now, I don't know. But what I would think what would be really cool is if Adam Cole debuted big and you build up Adam Cole. So that way he faces McIntyre either SummerSlam or Survivor Series.
I could see that happening if he does not resign and they all move up. But if they're going to do that, the smart play would be to give Fish and O'Reilly, which are to make the team of Red Dragon in New Japan and Ring of Honor, give them the tag belts, give Roger Strong the U.S. title, and give Adam Cole the world title, like they did in NXT. That was the smartest play.
Right, they're the new Evolution, basically. But then you can actually compete with Evolution.
Basically,
yeah. They're a good version of Evolution, not the toxic version that everyone was tired of. Because everyone's tired of Triple H burying everything. But everyone loves Adam Cole, baby! So, would it be quick for them? Yes. Unless you build them strong out of the gate. So that's I guess my thoughts on that. But it remains to be seen what happens and what all they have planned on the main roster and everything with everyone. So, could it happen? Yes. Will it? Remains to be seen.
All right, Josh, it's that time.
All right. So, thank you guys all for joining. Leave your predictions in the comments. Like our Josh Remaining page on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. And for TG Talley, Maniac Mansfield, thank you guys for joining us. God bless.